For centuries, humanity had expanded beyond Earth, building dozens of thriving colonies across nearby star systems. The colonies were connected by trade, science, and hope, believing that the era of endless war had finally ended. But peace rarely survives in a galaxy ruled by fear. Across the Orion Arm, the Kharax Dominion, a ruthless alien empire forged from hundreds of conquered civilizations, watched humanity's rapid growth with growing alarm. Human technology evolved too quickly, their soldiers adapted faster than any known species, and their willingness to sacrifice for one another made them nearly impossible to intimidate. The Dominion High Council reached a unanimous decision: humanity had to be erased before it became unstoppable. The invasion began without warning. Thousands of warships emerged from hyperspace simultaneously above every known human colony. Planetary defense grids collapsed within hours. Entire orbital fleets were overwhelmed by numbers no civilization had ever witnessed. Cities burned beneath crimson skies while desperate evacuation ships were hunted through space. One colony after another surrendered. Some resisted until their last breath, but within a single year, every known human world had fallen. Millions were imprisoned, billions lived under occupation, and the Dominion proudly announced across the galaxy that humanity had officially ceased to exist as an independent civilization. Alien news networks celebrated the greatest military victory in history. Every empire accepted the declaration. Every intelligence agency confirmed it. Every surviving human colony was accounted for. Or so they believed. Hidden deep inside a region of space called the Black Nebula, beyond storms that shredded sensors and distorted time itself, Earth remained untouched. Thousands of years earlier, humanity's greatest scientists had predicted that one day the colonies could fall. Rather than placing all hope in expanding outward, they secretly transformed Earth into something the galaxy could never imagine. The entire solar system became a fortress hidden behind quantum camouflage, gravitational distortions, and ancient defense satellites disguised as asteroids. Every colony believed Earth remained a peaceful administrative capital. Even most human governments never learned the truth. Beneath Earth's oceans rested shipyards stretching thousands of kilometers. The moon had become a command center filled with artificial intelligences older than any living person. Mars manufactured antimatter reactors. Jupiter's orbit concealed enormous battle stations capable of destroying moons with a single discharge. Saturn's rings secretly contained billions of autonomous defense drones waiting silently for one command. This classified project had one name known only to a handful of leaders: the Last Horizon Fleet. When news of humanity's collapse finally penetrated the Black Nebula through hidden quantum relays, silence filled the underground command chamber beneath the Himalayas. Admiral Elena Hayes, now nearly 100 years old thanks to advanced medical technology, stood before a holographic map showing every occupied human world. For several long minutes nobody spoke. Then she quietly asked one question. Have they found Earth? The AI controlling planetary defense answered immediately. Negative. Probability of discovery, 0.00000008%. Elena nodded. Then Phase 0 is complete. Around her, hundreds of officers activated systems untouched for centuries. Massive fusion reactors awakened beneath continents. Shipyards illuminated across the solar system. Sleeping artificial intelligences came online one after another, each possessing centuries of tactical knowledge. Hidden factories accelerated into full production, assembling warships at impossible speed using self-replicating nanoforges. Within weeks, Earth's secret fleet expanded from thousands of vessels to millions. Yet these were unlike any ships the galaxy had ever built. Instead of relying on traditional weapons, they manipulated gravity itself, folded space around incoming attacks, and carried quantum lances capable of slicing entire armadas apart without producing a single explosion. Their armor regenerated using programmable matter, while AI captains calculated millions of battle outcomes every second. Humanity had spent centuries preparing not to win a war, but to ensure they could never lose one. Meanwhile, aboard the Dominion capital world, Emperor Vorth addressed trillions through a galaxy-wide broadcast. Surrounded by banners celebrating humanity's extinction, he declared that the final human resistance had ended forever. His speech lasted exactly 14 minutes before every screen across the capital suddenly flickered. The broadcast froze. The Imperial symbol vanished. In its place appeared a simple blue planet slowly rotating against a black background. A calm human voice echoed through every communication system in the galaxy. "This is Earth. You have captured our colonies. You have imprisoned our people. You believed you had found humanity. You were mistaken." Panic erupted inside the Imperial Palace. Technicians screamed that the transmission ignored every encryption protocol ever invented. Before anyone could react, long-range sensors detected thousands of hyperspace ruptures surrounding the Dominion's outer territories. Then millions. Then billions. Space itself seemed to crack apart as Earth's hidden fleet emerged in perfect formation, stretching farther than telescopes could measure. Entire stars disappeared behind endless lines of human warships. No dramatic speeches followed. No threats. The fleet simply advanced. Dominion commanders launched everything they possessed. Endless waves of battleships fired planet-killing weapons that had conquered countless civilizations. Human vessels responded with terrifying precision. Gravity folded around incoming attacks, turning enemy beams back toward their own fleets. Quantum lances silently erased entire formations before alarms could sound. Autonomous drone swarms dismantled capital ships molecule by molecule. Within 6 hours, the Dominion Navy, the largest military force in galactic history, ceased to exist. Across occupied human colonies, prison walls suddenly opened as invisible drones disabled every security system without harming a single civilian. Human soldiers wearing black armor stepped through portals and liberated their people with disciplined efficiency. They did not seek revenge against ordinary aliens forced to serve the Dominion. Instead, they targeted only military leadership, occupation forces, and those responsible for genocide. Freed colonists watched in disbelief as banners of Earth, long believed lost forever, rose above city skylines. Other alien empires prepared for war, convinced humanity would now conquer the galaxy. Instead, Admiral Hayes transmitted a single diplomatic message to every government. "We did not return for conquest. We returned for our people. Those who stood aside will know peace. Those who joined in humanity's extermination will answer for their crimes." Hundreds of worlds surrendered immediately. Former Dominion allies revealed secret archives documenting atrocities committed during the occupation. Entire governments collapsed overnight as frightened officials attempted to escape justice. Yet no one could outrun Earth's fleet. Within months, the Dominion dissolved into history. Humanity established the Galactic Restoration Council, inviting every peaceful civilization to join as equals. Former enemies were offered rebuilding assistance rather than slavery. Occupied planets received food, medicine, and technology instead of punishment. Many aliens who had once feared humanity now realized why humans had become legendary. Their greatest strength had never been their weapons, their fleets, or even their hidden technology. It was restraint. They possessed the power to rule through fear but chose to lead through justice. Decades later, young cadets at the Galactic Academy often asked why Earth had hidden such an enormous fleet instead of protecting the colonies from the beginning. Their instructors always gave the same answer. Because humanity hoped it would never be needed. Above the Academy entrance stood a monument built from the wreckage of the Dominion flagship. Carved into its surface were words that every visitor remembered forever: "You found every human colony, but you never found the home that never stopped preparing." The victory over the Kharax Dominion should have marked the beginning of a lasting peace, but the galaxy had underestimated the consequences of an empire's collapse. Across thousands of former Dominion worlds, ancient vaults began unlocking automatically. Hidden beneath dead moons, frozen planets, and abandoned research stations, forgotten defense systems activated after detecting the extinction of their creators. One by one, colossal machines awakened from a slumber older than recorded history. They were not ships. They were not artificial intelligences in the modern sense. They were the Wardens, planet-sized autonomous constructs built by an ancient civilization known only as the Precursors. Millions of years earlier, the Precursors had created the Wardens to preserve galactic balance should any empire become too powerful. The Dominion had secretly discovered these machines centuries before and, fearing what they represented, buried every trace of their existence. Their final command to the Wardens had been simple: if the Dominion ever ceased to exist, eliminate whatever civilization replaced it. Humanity had unknowingly triggered the oldest failsafe in galactic history. The first Warden emerged near the shattered remains of the Dominion capital. It dwarfed entire fleets, its metallic shell stretching thousands of kilometers across space. A single pulse from its core erased a nearby asteroid belt. Moments later, another awakened in a neighboring sector. Then another. Within hours, more than 500 Wardens were active across the galaxy. Their message echoed simultaneously in every known language. Galactic balance compromised. Successor species identified: humanity. Correction protocol initiated. Fear spread faster than any invasion. Civilizations that had celebrated humanity's victory now begged Earth for help. Entire star systems vanished as the Wardens advanced, dismantling military fleets without hesitation. Even humanity's advanced quantum weapons barely scratched the ancient constructs. Admiral Elena Hayes stood once again in Earth's command chamber, watching reports stream across the holographic display. Every tactical simulation ended with the same prediction. Conventional victory was impossible. Then the oldest AI in the solar system, designated Athena, requested permission to access classified archives sealed since the founding of the last Horizon fleet. Elena approved. Deep beneath the moon, forgotten records revealed the final secret of humanity's hidden preparations. The founders of Earth's secret fleet had never built it solely to fight alien empires. They had discovered fragments of precursor technology centuries earlier and realized something terrifying: the Wardens would eventually awaken. Every ship, every weapon, every AI had been secretly designed around one impossible objective: not destroying a Warden, but taking control of one. Athena identified a weakness buried inside the machine's command architecture, a quantum authentication protocol left behind by the precursors. It could only be exploited if a human physically entered a Warden's central core. The mission carried almost no chance of survival. Before anyone could volunteer, Admiral Hayes quietly removed her command insignia and placed it on the table. "I've spent my life preparing for the war after the war," she said. "This is why Earth survived." A small stealth cruiser slipped through impossible gravitational storms and approached the nearest Warden. Using experimental cloaking technology, Elena and a team of 6 human operators breached the colossal machine. Inside they discovered vast halls filled with glowing structures older than any civilization still alive. Strange symbols illuminated the walls, revealing that the precursors had not intended the Wardens to rule forever. They had expected another species to inherit responsibility for the galaxy when the time came. Humanity, through centuries of sacrifice and restraint, had unknowingly fulfilled every condition. Reaching the central core after fierce battles against autonomous guardians, Elena connected Athena directly into the Warden's quantum network. For several agonizing seconds, nothing happened. Then every Warden across the galaxy stopped moving simultaneously. Their crimson sensors slowly turned blue. The same ancient voice echoed once again, but this time its tone had changed. Successor verified. Humanity accepted as galactic custodian. Across every star system, the unstoppable machines powered down and repositioned themselves around inhabited worlds, not as conquerors, but as protectors. Civilizations watched in astonishment as the greatest threat in galactic history became the greatest shield the galaxy had ever known. Admiral Elena Hayes never returned from the Warden's core. The energy required to rewrite the ancient command network consumed both her body and the original Athena AI. Her final message reached Earth only moments before the transmission ended. Power means nothing unless someone chooses not to abuse it. Make sure we remain worthy. Years later, every academy in the galaxy taught 2 defining moments of history. The first was the day the aliens captured every human colony. The second was the day they discovered that Earth's greatest secret